Hey everyone and welcome to the video. So if you watched Flippy's video on Agents of Mayhem, you know he spoke about possible mod tools which basically taught players how to mod games and make their own levels, characters, maps and whatever they want. It gave them full-fledged mod support to create the type of game and experience they want, and I want to really talk about that and if it could possibly come out for Saints Row, what it could mean. Well, for a start off, universal praise would be one thing. If it's done right, universal praise from every single portion of the community and the outside gaming world. The idea that Saints Row gives people the tools to make their own game and their own playstyles is incredible, and I think people would really love it. On top of that, you get rid of an issue that has been in the Saints Row community since day one, and that is tone. Now, I know a lot of people are upset with certain ways Saints Row has gone, but if you could make your own Saints Row direction, you can make the Saints Row game of your dreams. How can you complain? If Saints Row releases a campaign that's not up to you, so you go, oh well, at least they taught me how to make my own campaign and taught me how to do it like this, that'd be great. And that also doesn't take anything away from the games Volition makes, because the people who enjoy those style of games will enjoy the content. But if, say, there's a portion of the community that feels left out by a certain game, they could kind of band together and make their own portions, their own things, and it wouldn't be perfect, but it'd be a good way to kind of get past the initial bumps of game creation and game releases not being exactly what you want, and I think it would basically make it so you could make the experience you're looking for and no one could really complain. I do think a few pessimists from outside of the community would look at it like, oh wow, that's super lazy of Volition, but if you know the Saints Row community, you know that everyone is dying to make their own content, everyone wants to be a part. It's a really tight-knit community full of creativity, and I don't think anyone from inside the community would be mad at it. Now, I don't know the full ins and outs of what actually was inside of the mod tools. Flippy's video is really all the information I have on it, but I love the idea that people could pick up these mod tools, learn to make their own Saints Row game their own way, and then proceed making the games of their dreams. It's something that sounds so cool to me, and I think Saints Row is not a bad basis to make your games off of. I mean, hell, if you could learn to make a Saints Row game with time, you could make any game you want. I mean, it's just a really good foundation for getting into modding and game creation. If Volition could be the into that, if that could be the step in the door, so to speak, then that'd just be great for the community as a whole. Plus, I think you'd see a lot of pressure just be relieved, and everyone would kind of just be happy messing around with it. It would also mean that even if they don't like a current Saints Row, it doesn't really matter because you'd be playing other people's creations all the time. Saints Row would become primarily a modding community based around a game that releases every few years, and that's a beautiful thing. That's basically what it is right now, just with so much more leeway. So, for me, I really think having mod tools would just be a great idea, and if they could ever get them out, I don't think it's a waste of resources. I think it's a perfect use of resources, because the community would be ecstatic. Unfortunately though, this tale doesn't exactly have a happy end. There is no confirmation or even message about mod tools. All we had is what Flippy released after his NDA expired. It really sucks. I would love to hear a bit more up-to-date news on this, and if Volition is still working on it, or if they're not. But hey, maybe at the Steam release of Saints Row we'll get something, but honestly, I'm not holding out hope. But, at the same time, if this does come to light, and Volition decides to give it some resources, or Gearbox, whoever's in charge now, trust me, do it. People would be so happy. Just release what you have, even if you can't release the full thing. If it's in a state where you can make your own stuff, I think releasing it and then building upon it in the future is not even a bad idea. I think that abandoning this project as a whole, though, is really just not the move, because I think the community would appreciate it so much, and you would earn so much respect back. It's unreal. But hey, that's just me, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think down below. I think having mod tools for Saints Row literally would change the foundation of Saints Row as a basis, as a game, as a franchise, and it was something people would be so over the moon for. I know I would. It'd make content creation easy, it'd make game creation easy, and people would just be so happy. But that's just me. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, hope you did enjoy.